So I thought that we could come out of the break and play a little. It's not really a game. It's just a fun little icebreaker. So we talked a little bit about the mashup of pop culture in food that you display in your sort of brand and your look and feel. So I thought it'd be fun to go around and say some of our favorite scenes in television and movies that make us hungry. So it's probably something that you watch regularly. And it does, here's an important qualifier. The food item doesn't have to look appetizing to you, but maybe the sound effects or the look of satisfaction in the character's face enjoying it makes you hungry. So scenes from TVs and movies that make you hungry. Anybody can go. I imagine that we'll have some of the same. We've not seen each other's lists, but I thought this could be really fun. Who wants to start?
I can start with an actual pizza one.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're watching a Goofy movie, they're enjoying pizza in the hotel room, and the cheese, as they like pull the slice, the cheese like stretches, and it looks incredible. It looks so good, and it makes me want pizza every freaking time.
I feel like maybe we all should just get our pizza ones out of the way because I'm sure we all have them. I've got two that are associated with pizza. The first one is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, never pay for late pizza.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. That was exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, watching them like obsess over pizza and then just like gnaw down on this like neon yellow pizza. Like for whatever reason, as a kid, got me really wanting pizza. And
in the cartoon when they would pull it from the box,
it stretches.
It'd be super stretchy and drippy.
Yeah. The second pizza one that I have is Home Alone. Just the way that he talks about in my very own lovely cheese pizza, and when he gets it, and then the other scene where he's like getting out to the limo toward the end of the film, I think, and one is presented to him, and it's presented to him as your own cheese pizza. And that's just the idea of like, man, to be alone with a cheese pizza.
Yeah.
Even earlier in the movie when the family's still there and they're all just shoving it in their faces and Fuller's drinking the Pepsi, like the way that Buzz is scarfing down that pizza, watching him do it is unappetizing, but seeing how much he enjoys it makes me want it.
Also, since you mentioned Home Alone, that bowl of mac and cheese on the white tablecloth always looked pretty dope. Like, what kind of fancy mac and cheese is that? Like the fanciest shells and cheddar that's ever existed that's in that bowl? Because it looks great.
Let's not forget his ice cream that he fixes himself to watch the movie. So like I had 3 from Home Alone: pizza, the mac and cheese, and the ice cream.
I could go with I got a couple, I guess. So obviously I was with you guys on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pizza scene where the Domino's guy stuffs it down the sewer grate.
Yep.
I'd say the two other ones. One is Groundhog Day, when he's eating dinner and he has all that food on the table. He's eating cake for dinner, and it's just like this gluttonous meal of every delicious food you can imagine. He's just housing it all. For some reason, that sticks with me as like, I definitely probably I don't eat as good as I used to, so that looks phenomenal to sit down at a meal like that. And then the other one would be, have you ever seen the movie Chef with Jon Favreau? So that scene when he's making the grilled cheese for his kid, that grilled cheese looks so good, and I would love to eat that grilled cheese.
That's so funny. I had chef on my list, but I had forgotten about the grilled cheese. So I was just thinking like any of the Cubanos.
Yeah, absolutely. Any of those. Yeah.
Any of the Cubanos look freaking awesome when they're cooking those on Chef. That's awesome.
That's fun. All right. Here's some ones that are not pizza and some of them that aren't even food.
Okay.
So this is so dumb, but in Land Before Time.
Oh, the leaf.
There's the leaf. The leaf also with the water drop on it, but also after Spike is born, he eats the grass from around and he eats it in clumps, and then like something about the sound of that, and then just like every time that makes me hungry. So that one was kind of funny. The imaginary dinner in Hook.
Oh,
Yes,
The
that's a
feast
solid
that
one.
they have with all the colorful like mousses and like that just looks really good. Anytime Pooh eats honey in the cartoon, like he'll
So
take his
like the whole
paw,
show.
he'll take his paw and like scoop around the inside of the bowl, and then he'll pour it. I don't even like honey that much, but like, yeah, that one does it for me. All right, I'll let you guys. I've got some more, but I'll let you guys go.
I know we're not supposed to like it, but the chocolate cake on Matilda, because it's like there's blood, sweat, and tears in this cake, and you're supposed to be grossed out, but you look at it, you're like, but that looks pretty
Well,
freaking
yeah.
good.
That was Lily's first answer. My oldest daughter. That's funny.
Oh man.
That would have been my wife's choice. If she would have jumped on, she would have said the cake from Matilda, because she talks about that all the time at the pizza shop.
Yes. All right. I expect a cookie in that vein. Like if the Matilda chocolate cake were a cookie, this would be the cookie.
Okay, I'm going to tell her that'll be the next one coming down the pike.
Like a
Let's see what she
triple
can do.
chocolate with like chocolate flakes on top and
That would be
tons
good.
of chocolate icing like to the edges.
We'll
All
see
right.
it soon.
Yes.
Do you guys have any more?
Oh,
I
I've
do.
got more.
I have a couple more.
Brent, do you have more?
Anything?
Anything coming to mind?
Nothing's coming to mind right now. No.
Okay. We're still talking about chocolate, and I'm gonna mention the way that Forrest Gump says chocolates. It's like this selfish, childish, indulgent, succulent way of saying the word chocolate that for whatever reason I can't eat. I love cheap chocolate. I love Hershey's milk chocolate. Like it doesn't get much better than that in my bland world, I guess. But
We're American. That's
but
fine.
I can't eat like a Hershey bar without Forrest Gump in my head going chocolate. And my like 5-year-old brain is just like chocolate. So anyway, Forrest Gump saying the word chocolate gets me.
I've got two chocolate ones. Scott Calvin finishing his sundae in Santa Claus.
That was my next one.
Yeah.
Because it like dings the bowl.
Yes.
Like the
glass.
Like,
the glass bowl. And then it's not good when Augustus does it in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but just seeing the chocolate river, like I don't like how he like that grosses me out. But
there's nothing in that movie that makes me want to eat anything in that movie, which is really funny to me.
Yeah. It's all supposed to look so enticing, but I do want to look at the Snosberry wallpaper.
I was literally going to say in Santa Claus at the end of the meeting, it's how he's scooping it out, like the dinging on the glass with the metal. And it's like every bite is so precious to him that it must be good. This feels like a slightly higher level in that it's a serious movie and these characters really earned this food. And it's all the banquet food in Jurassic Park when the kids have gotten away. Yeah, when the kids have gotten away from the dinosaurs. And it's like it's such a serious movie. And like the Jell-O, and they're so excited because they've earned every bite of that food.
That's so funny.
And watching that as a kid, I'm like, I want to be there until the Raptors are, and then I do not want to be there.
Oh, that's so funny. I had that one.
So one funny one for me is that Narnia got me wanting to try Turkish delight for the very first time, because I'd never had it before until like watching the film. I did not read the books as a kid. And so I was at World Market and saw some and bought some and then tried some and was immediately pissed off and felt like
yeah.
So,
and we'd be remiss if we mentioned Santa Claus and nobody mentioned Judy the Elf's hot chocolate. Like everyone wanted to try that. You couldn't even see it, but just like you've perfected 1,000-year-old recipe of hot chocolate. That has got to be the most flawless drink in all of history. or fiction. So yes, the hot chocolate at the
Brent, we'll be interrupting each other about food this whole time. So if you come up with anything,
Yeah,
you're
just jump
gonna
right
have to
in.
jump in.
No, the one that as I'm sitting here thinking about it, the Lady and the Tramp scene, the cartoon, I've seen when they're eating the
Yeah.
spaghetti.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I hate spaghetti, but that looks like spaghetti I would want to eat.
Totally.
Okay,
Yeah,
speaking of early Disney cartoons, when Aladdin and Abu share the bread and Abu bites into his half of his loaf and there's a big bite mark and he like tries to keep it away from having to give it to the poor kids.
Dude, you got deep about these. Didn't you?
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of those.
Really, this is just Corey's like every morning, every day before lunch. And he's like, how can we make a segment out of this for the podcast?
He Corey just has this random list in his head. And he's like, I'm
Yeah.
going to bring this up some days
Yeah.
just so I can get this out.
I posed this same question to my family at dinner tonight. So Lily also said at the end of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, when the Grinch is slicing the meat and like giving it out, the roast beef,
Crazy looking roast beast.
Yeah, that's
Found that appetizing. Hey, that's fun.
The sound of Bugs Bunny eating carrots.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't really like carrots all that much, but the sound of him eating them makes me hungry for something. And then my son, who's 8, said Cookie Monster. And I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
All right.
What a great bunch of lists. Any more that we're missing?
Yeah. So I've got a couple more.
Sweet.
One of my favorite donut, my second favorite donut these days is a jelly donut, a powdered jelly filled donut. And as a kid, I hated them. Like I tried one, and I was like, that's gross. And I didn't want one and hadn't had one for years and years until a particular episode of Saved by the Bell that takes place in a shopping mall. And I think it was Fresh Prince. No, I think it was Saved by the Bell or Boy Meets World. I don't know now. Holy cow! In my head, it was automatically Saved by the Bell, and now I'm second guessing it. And because of that, nobody's going to understand the reference. I didn't expect you to anyway. But there's a situation where somebody goes up to a police officer who's sitting by himself in a food court at a table eating a jelly donut, and it was Saved by the Bell. And because it was Screech, he's like, is that a jelly donut? And like in the middle of this emergency. And the cop was like, yeah, which means I'm on my break. Like that was the scene with the jelly donut in it. I watched that scene and immediately wanted a jelly donut for the first time in years and tried it again. And ever since then, I've loved jelly donuts.
I got to add to your donut one. I'm sorry, Dylan. Home Alone. Again, Larry Hankin plays Agent Balzac. And he's like, you want us to go to your house and check on your son? And he's got like the sound of the food is halfway swallowed. And it's got to be one of those like cruller donuts too. I don't think it is, but it feels like the density of the and then it falls.
The donut is like sitting on his
in the corner of his mouth.
In the corner of his mouth. But like that scene makes me want a donut every single time.
I was gonna say that next. That's so funny.
What about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? There was a I don't know if it was a cookie.
Oatmeal
or-
cream pie.
Yes. The gigantic oatmeal cream pie.
They were
Yes.
eating
Yes.
the icing out of the middle of the oatmeal cream pie.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one.
Such a good one.
Put me in front of a wall of oatmeal cream pie, I feel like.
Right. So
Gosh,
you imagine
man.
that oatmeal cream pies now are so small. It's so sad. I had it for the first time last year because we were putting them in a cookie. I was like, oh man, I'm going to house one of these. And it was like a quarter. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? They're so small.
So I got to get the giant and then eat two because that's just where we are now. It's really unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's how big they should be.
Exactly.
Amen, brother.
I want to dive into the middle of it. Okay, Kendall, keep going.
All right. So the last one that I've got is The Sopranos and just Italian sliced meats on bread. Like
Oh,
I watched, I've always been a fan of deli meats, and I've always appreciated Italian deli meats. And then after watching The Sopranos, like my consumption of Italian deli meats went up for sure. particularly toward the end of the series, he asks for this like super simple gabagool sandwich. And like for a solid week, I was telling myself that that's going to be my favorite sandwich. And so I went out and I found out that gabagool, which is capicola, is not necessarily easy to find. Like I could not just walk into my Kroger and get a hold of some. They didn't have capicola there, which was interesting and frustrating.
Yeah.
I did that same thing. Like, did the Google search of phonetically spelling gabagool to try to find to taste it.
Try to
after
find out what it
watching that
is.
series.
Yeah.
Oh, capicola.
Yeah. Gabagool, vinegar, peppers, provolone. Like that was the sandwich.
Yeah.
And so like I wanted to make that sandwich. I even looked up like what is he probably talking about with vinegar peppers and yeah.
Doesn't Jersey Mike's have that meat? Don't they have an
Capicola?
Italian that's got that?
They might. Subway apparently has it now too.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know about the quality. Again, I'm trying to eat what Tony Soprano ate, and I'm sure it's probably not the same quality of capicola that Subway has. Like my guess is
There's
it's a couple notches.
There's a little Italian market in Columbus. I cannot remember the name of it. It starts with a C.
Carfagnas?
Maybe that's it. I used to go there whenever I was teaching myself to make pizza because they're the only place that had a. At the time, I was using a 00 flour, and they're the only place around here I could find 00 flour. And I would feel pretty confident they would have it, but I don't know for sure. That's probably where I would check first.
Probably.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah,
mortadella, prosciutto. Yeah, we got to have some meats. Okay, well, that was a little game.
Yeah, thanks to Corey. Great game. Thanks everyone participating. Brent, you've got a new idea for a pizza with all the Italian meats and peppers. You can call it the Tony Soprano.